Good morning. So today we are going to discuss how we can set up an organization with My Bizz ERP. Visit mybizzerp.com, click on sign up. So you can see a new page is open, ion.mybizzerp.com. So this portal is related to the India version of My Bizz ERP. Click on create account, set your own credentials. So provide your email ID, mobile number with country code only. Indian mobile numbers are allowed. Next, set your own password, then register now. So whatever the email ID you have used and the password you have set, so these two details will be used for the login. So I am going to the login. So enter the email ID and password, click on login. So you'll be getting an OTP on your registered email ID. Done. So now system will prompt you to add a new organization. So create your own organization. So I am creating new organization using the GST number. So in this case, you can see enter trade name or business name. So in case of GSTN, since I have used the GST number, so here provide the trade name. So if you are going with PAN number, you have to provide the entity organization type also. That is entity type, proprietorship or partnership, along with the PAN number. Click on validate. So once the GST details are validated, organization will be created. So you can see Satwar Business Services Private Limited organization has been created. So you will get a email also on your registered mail ID how you can set up. On your registered mail ID, you might have received an email which will have the links for the user manual and training sessions and the demo videos. You can refer that mail also. So now I am continuing with setting up the company details. Here you can see organization name or trade name. So whatever I have given in the onboarding page, the same has been populated. So here you can upload your company logo. So if you have the company logo, you can upload it. So this is the preferences. So now I am adding the company address. The address details will be auto populated from the GST database. So you can use the same, or if you would like to modify, do the respective changes. So I am doing the changes. India, state, Telangana, district, pin code. So the mobile number. So provide the organization mobile number and organization email ID. So company will have the separate contact number and the email ID. So provide the same. So organization type, private limited company. This will be auto populated from GST database. The registration number. In case of company and LLP, provide the registration number granted by the MCA. In other case, provide the substantive establishment number or any other registration number which can be identified. So the PAN number, it will be fetched from the GST. So the same name as per PAN. Financial year start date. So in India, financial year starts from 1st of April. So the default date will be 1st of April. So the next option is maintain books of accounts from. So if you are a greenfield company or the new company recently registered, so provide the date of commencement of the business if you are a new entity. If you are already having an existing business, you are maintaining books of accounts in another software, you would like to move to My Bizz ERP. In such a case, specify the migration date. I'll give you one small example in this case, maintain books of accounts from. So taking a scenario up to 31st March 2026, you have maintained books of accounts in, let's take a scenario of 0. So if you have maintained in 0, if you would like to maintain books of accounts from the next date from My Bizz ERP, give the 1st of April 2026. So the accounting framework. So there will be two things, Indian GAAP and Ind AS. Indian GAAP will be applicable for all the entities other than unlisted and the turnover is less than 250 crores. So Indian GAAP is the default. Majority of the 99% of the companies or organizations falls under the Indian GAAP. Next option is the reporting currency. So in India, we'll be maintaining all the records in INR, Indian rupees. The same will be provided by default. So the remaining options are related to the customizations and how it triggers. So the last 6 options will be explained as and when the scenario comes. So that is the company details part. So click on save. So the details are saved. Now I am moving to the statutory settings. So under the statutory settings, you will be prompted to provide the details related to the TDS, TCS, GST, e-way bills, e-invoicing, letter of undertaking. The 6 concepts will be configured under the statutory settings section. So I'll be configuring one by one. So edit. So I am enabling the TDS settings. So first enable the TDS. So TDS compliance applicable from. So I am already using the system. So from 1st of April 2026. So what is the use? So if you enable particular date, so the TDS reports will get generated from that particular date. So provide the TAN number. So the TAN number validation will be first 4 characters will be alphabets. The next 5 characters will be numeric. Last character alphabet. Type of deductor, choose the respective option. Okay, now the TDS settings has been configured. So there will be TDS return filing related, there will be specific settings that will be monitored from the TDS section and from the reports TDS section. So the next I am moving to the GST configuration. Since I have onboarded the company or created the company using GST number, the GST data will be auto populated. Yes, the GST number is auto populated, category is regular, filing frequency is monthly. So you can change if you would like to change the return filing frequency. File GST returns from. So this is the date of registration. So I'll shift it to current month or maintain books of accounts from. So this particular date must be on or after maintain books of accounts from date or month. So if you see, I am maintaining books of accounts from 1st of April 2026. So in the statutory settings also, so this file returns from date must be on or after that particular month. So I'll set 2026. PAN of the authorized signatory. So for now I am just skipping it. Okay. So GST login username. So if you have, you can provide. So what is the use of GST login username? So if you have provided the GST username, so you will be facilitating to file the GSTR1, GSTR3B and sync your GST ITC statements like IMS, Invoice Management System, then GSTR2A, GSTR2B, TDS Return Filing Enablement. So all these options are connected to the GST login username. So if you have any additional place of businesses, you can set up here. So if you are liable for e-invoicing, so set it as effective date, provide the effective date. So e-invoicing username and password corresponding to the GSP. So there is a separate video which will be available on how you can generate the login credentials for GSP. So refer to that particular video. So for now I am making it as no. The same applicable for the e-way bill also. So once you generate the credentials for e-way bill, the same credentials will be used for e-invoicing also. If you have set up separate credentials, there is no issue. If you have not set up the separate credentials for e-way bill and invoice, you can use the same e-way bill credentials for invoicing also. So the next one, letter of undertaking and bond. So there is a concept of zero rated supplies. under GST. So if you are making any zero rated supplies without payment of IGST, so you have to provide the details of LUT, letter of undertaking. So letter of undertaking you have to prepare or you have to manage for every financial year. So here you can see for every financial year there is an option to add the letter of undertaking or bond of applicable date and provide the acknowledgement number corresponding acknowledgement file, LUT acknowledgement file you can upload. So this will be maintained for the future purpose. So for now I am skipping this step. So I'll add this data also. So data saved successfully. You can see all the data statutory settings are saved. So at last you can see other compliances. This is not required. This is only for the information purpose we have provided. So now I'm moving forward with the inventory management. So by default inventory management will be set as true. That is S. First option. If you are into the service entity, you don't need of any of the inventory management system. You can directly keep it as no. So for now, for explanation purpose, I am keeping it as. So method of inventory valuation. So by default, we'll be set it as weighted average. Okay. So I'll go back and come. So you can see by default, the method of inventory valuation is weighted average method. So allow negative stock, default it was set as no. So what is the use of allow negative stock option? So if you set this option as S, whenever you are generating any of the sales invoice, you don't have stock, but you are trying to generate sales invoice. So it will return an error. Okay. So allow stock, negative stock is set as no means it will return an error. You will be allowed to create any sales invoices or DC if you have the stock. So if you would like to create invoices or DC without stock, you don't have the stock, but you would like to create any sales invoices or the DC where material movement is involved, that to outward movement, then you can set it as S. Final conclusion on allow negative stock. You don't have the stock, you want to create the sales invoice or DC involving outward movement of stock. So you can set it as yes. If you keep it no, system don't allow to create any sales invoice or delivery challan involving outward movement of goods, okay, without having stock. So by default, it will be set as no. Stock transfer orders. Stock transfer orders. This is as per the GST system. Whenever you are having warehouses within the state, you are planning to move stock between the warehouses from warehouse A to warehouse B. So stock transfer orders will be used. So this is the stock transfer. This is the setup point. So will be explained in detail when it comes to the respective stock transfer order report. Here basic setup will be done. Auto numbering of the stock transfer orders, templates and the workflows. Workflows for the approvals and authorizations purpose. Same in case of the delivery challans also. Work orders are related to the production management system. Next, order fulfillment. If you are engaged in any of the e-commerce operations or in-house sales, then order fulfillment is one of the best one. Make sure you have enabled order fulfillment. So you would like to customize these things, you can customize it. As of now, it is not required. Assembly report. This is also connected to the production and manufacturing facilities. Okay. So I have done only basic changes in the inventory management. When it comes to the respective inventory management session, we'll be discussing in more detail.